Good Monday, everyone, and welcome to the last official day of the 11th month of 2015. It is November 30th, 2015. Welcome to GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com. Providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day. I'm forecaster Robert Smith, and we've got clouds on the way and rain for the start of December. How's the rest of the forecast looking? We'll get into the details shortly. A little chilly morning out there this morning with temperatures bottoming out into the lower 20s over interior Sussex County and northwestern New Jersey, the low to mid 20s. Many regions of the Hudson River Valley area outside of the New York City metropolitan area, outside of the coast, and outside of Philadelphia, where temperatures bottomed out into the low and mid 30s across the region. The big story in review this weekend was the power outages and ice across many portions of Texas into Oklahoma. Had so much ice that they had power outages, about 60, 80,000 people at points outside of Oklahoma City without power. We're not checking in on the latest reports for that, but over the weekend they had plenty of ice in this region, power outages as naturally expected. We had rain across the Illinois area in Springfield down to Louisville, Kentucky, and out towards Cincinnati, and just west of that here into Ohio, and just southwest of that into Indiana. Quite a bit of rain fell. We also had quite a bit of snow across the Colorado Rockies as well, with this big, deep storm system, which is already heading up towards the Great Lakes, and eventually it's going to spawn some rain across the northern mid-Atlantic region. High pressure centered over Maine this morning, providing an onshore flow, an easterly flow now across the northern mid-Atlantic region this morning. And here is our storm system, which was out over the plains. It's now moving towards Nashville and Kentucky and Knoxville, an area of low pressure along it, and a warm front will be approaching our region during tomorrow with plenty of rain. Satellite and radar this morning, as well as the observations of the pressure here. Cold air damming or damming situation here across the eastern slopes of the Appalachians. Rain is on the way with this area of low pressure here as it moves towards the Tennessee River Valley area, then eventually towards the mid-Atlantic coast states, with a wave of low pressure passing east of Long Island by tomorrow evening. And then another area of rain associated with the cold front here to our west, and this is going to mean for rainy Tuesday night through early Wednesday. Watches, warnings, and advisories. Here we have small craft advisories until about Tuesday evening, right along the Jersey coast here, and also along the South Shore and east ends of Long Island, right through late Tuesday for choppy seas. Current observations this morning: clouds are on the increase across southern New Jersey and Philadelphia, clouds up to 28,000 feet. This is the warm air advection beginning to work over at the highest levels of the atmosphere here. Plenty of clouds around the New York City metropolitan area down to Philadelphia this morning. There are lower clouds as a result of some stratocumulus advecting in from off the ocean here. We can see this on the overlay here of the satellite imagery this morning, with a north to northeast wind and chilly temperatures. Look at this. We're still in 26 degrees here in northwestern New Jersey and parts of the Poconos this morning too, as that chill begins to warm slowly this morning. On the aviational weather front today, we have mainly VFR conditions expected with the trend towards MVFR later today. The model guidance also continues to show disparity when it comes to how fast the lower clouds and precipitation will arrive at the terminals. The preference remains with the NAM at this time, as the soundings are more indicative of a more progressive solution. Ceilings will drop to MVFR as the easterly flow increases, the moisture in the lower levels. Tonight, VFR conditions early, especially north and west of Philadelphia, deteriorating conditions as rain expands north across the region. MVFR and IFR conditions to develop at the terminals from south to north as the warm front moves northward into the region. Easterly winds will continue across the terminals, generally remaining at about 10 knots or less. Tuesday and Tuesday night, periods of MVFR and IFR and low clouds and rain. Widespread rain will be moderate at times during the day. Rain could potentially taper off briefly at night, but not much improvement in the ceilings are likely. Light easterly winds becoming southerly at night. On Wednesday, MVFR and IFR conditions continue. Showers may be moderate to heavy at times ahead of the cold front. Light south to southwesterly winds in the morning becoming westerly in the afternoon. Conditions may start to improve toward the end of the day around Allentown and Reading as the front moves through. Now on Wednesday night, becoming 10 to 15 knots out of the west-northwest on Wednesday night. and a few gusts into 20 to 25 knot range. Thursday and Friday, VFR, northwest wind 10 to 15 knots, gust up to 25 knots to perhaps 30 knots on Thursday. Strong pressure gradient coming in. Winds subside later in the day, light northwesterly winds Thursday night and Friday. Right now, outside of Newark, we are in MVFR ceilings below 3,000 feet. We have overcast at 2,300, broken at 25,000. Visibility is 10. Wind northeast, or that's right, northeast at 13. Temperature chilly, 33. Dew point 23. Humidity 66%. Again, lowering clouds. VFR goes to MVFR and then IFR later this afternoon and tonight, especially tonight and tomorrow morning. Right now in Philadelphia, we are in VFR 37. It's chilly, dew point 24, humidity 59%. The wind is northeast at 12. A few clouds at 1,500, 22,000, and 28,000. And very little in the way of precipitation for today, just lowering and thickening of clouds, late drizzle, and then eventually rain takes over the region from late tonight through tomorrow morning. Forecasted charts from this afternoon right through Wednesday morning. Complex storm system here in the central plains with ice and snow and rain across the upper Midwest and the plains here. Rain across the central and southern Appalachian mountains here as the warm front, waves of low pressure associated with this by tonight. Second area of low pressure here moves up towards Kentucky and the Ohio River Valley. A little cold air signature here on the damming of the heights here across the eastern United States, the northern mid-Atlantic region. Could start off with some light rain and then eventually drizzle and even some light freezing rain across the higher elevations of the Poconos and southern New York and portions of interior southwestern Connecticut by tomorrow morning. And that all goes over to rain. And it could be up to an inch of rain by the time we get through Wednesday as an area of low pressure on the warm front moves to the east and southeast of Long Island, drags the warm front through the region. The warm front moves through by Wednesday morning, followed by more convective showers across the region by Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening ahead of the cold front here as this upper low moves into the Great Lakes and southeastern Canada, drives the cold front slowly towards the east coast. The rain probably not getting out of here until sometime on Thursday morning. 4-kilometer NAM forecast, composite reflectivity forecast going into the future right through Wednesday and Thursday. Light rain will begin to spread up towards the region by midnight tonight, early tomorrow morning. It could be enhanced by pockets of some freezing light drizzle or freezing light rain across the Poconos and southeastern New York, such as Orange County, as cold air still wedges in down through the Hudson River Valley Canyon area. Now, most of Tuesday won't be too bad, especially after the morning, until the afternoon as a wave of low pressure associated with the warm front moves through, and that will produce some moderate pockets of rain around the region until around Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. Now, by the day on Wednesday itself, things get a little bit more convective as we're in the warm sector, moderate pockets of showers, and possibly some low-top thunderstorms. At best, probably a pretty stable atmosphere with an east to northeast wind across the region. So we're betting on just some moderate impulses of rain across the region as we head into Wednesday morning and Wednesday evening. And probably going to clear out by the time we get to Thursday. There's another pocket of rain with another area of low pressure along the front here. This would be for Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening across the Philadelphia I-95 corridor. GFS shows the cold air signature here with the damming of the heights here across the Appalachian Mountains here as we begin the forecast period. We get into an east-northeast wind across the region, easterly fetch building in the warm air advection. Here comes the area of low pressure now south of and east of Long Island and off the northern mid-Atlantic coast states with precipitation breaking out across the forecast region on Tuesday. Could start off with a little bit of ice, not as problematic across our region as it will be across interior New York State and the Adirondacks here. That wave of low pressure moves across, then by Wednesday we get into the warm sector and the cold front approaching the region on Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon. It looks a little faster here on the GFS model versus the NAM model at this point, but there could be some pockets of moderate to heavy rain as the area of low pressure along the front or just east of the front moves to southern northern New England's coastal waters. Could be a stripe of rain here across the coastal regions, anywhere from about a half of an inch to an inch of rain. And eventually with them we get into the cold sector. Some chilly air moving in across the area, but it will be modified as we head into the later part of the work week, and then conditions begin to modify again as we get later in the week, but still normal temperatures across most of the forecast region as areas of low pressure move across southeastern Canada and bring some influence of colder air into the region. Chilly Monday to end the month of November, which has been extremely warm for the most part across the region. Temperatures not getting above 45 degrees in New York City, 48 in Philadelphia. By the time we get into Tuesday afternoon, temperatures warm up to between 49 here. We're still in the colder sector here, just north of the warm front, 56 in Philadelphia on Tuesday. Then comes the warm front through the region. Temperatures spike to around 57, which is above normal in the city on Wednesday afternoon, about 60 or so in the Philadelphia metropolitan area. Thursday, temperatures cool down again behind the cold front, 49 in New York City, 51 in Philadelphia, which is about near normal for this time of the year. And the temperatures stay around that for the day on Friday as well. Temperatures around 49 or so in New York City, 52 in Philadelphia, which is about normal for this time of the year, so near normal temperatures. By the time we get into the weekend, again, near normal temperatures, about 49 degrees in the city, 52 in Philadelphia. And by the time we get to Sunday, once again over the weekend, temperatures near seasonable, about 50 in New York City and about 53 in Philadelphia. Of course, we're monitoring El Nino and its weakening state in the eastern Pacific, and it's central to western based in the central and western portions of the Pacific near the date line, actually, near the equator. And that means, well, we've got other conditions going on here. This is a look up at 250 millibars about the jet stream level. Definitely a split flow. We've got a Rex block here over western United States with a high pressure ridge over the top of low pressure here. And this means a zonal flow underneath with a very strong and active subtropical jet stream. Here's our polar jet stream here diving down through Hudson's Bay Canyon. And their blocking signatures in the northern Atlantic and also in the Arctic are still on the positive side. So a very progressive flow pattern still in place right now. Upstairs in the stratosphere, we showed you exactly where the polar vortex is located. There's been some weakening as a result of the El Nino and also as a result of low solar activity occurring in some warm air flux advection from the tropical Pacific into the polar and Arctic region. So it's still very cold. It's about the seventh coldest polar low, polar low that we've seen over the last several years. It's relocating across western Greenland at 10 millibars, which is almost the top layer of the stratosphere here. And it means that eventually this will probably continue to break off and weaken, and then colder air mass is beginning to filter in through the south into the eastern United States as we head into portions of January and February. So we still have a very active winter pattern on the way. For everything live, it's GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. You have a pleasant Monday, the last one of the 11th month of 2015.